Audrey Hepburn was 61 years old when she filmed her final scenes, and yet she radiated an elegance that women in their 20s envied. The secret? She knew that certain pieces have the power to erase years from the face without the need for plastic surgery. In 20 seconds, I will show you exactly where the wrap knot should sit to slim the body on camera. Do you believe that much of fashion communication ends up pushing mature women into shapeless garments? They want you to believe that after 60, your only option is to hide behind loose clothing. But what if I told you that Grace Kelly, at 52, wore dresses that made her look 35? There is science behind this, and no, it is not magic or real-life Photoshop. And there is one subtle mistake that adds 10 years to any dress. Clue: it is a contrast that happens right at knee level. The first dress on this list, the wrap dress, works as an optical illusion that elongates the torso and slims the waist. The difference lies in one detail that 90% of women completely overlook. If you want to discover what this detail is, the one that could revolutionize your wardrobe, subscribe to the channel now. You are part of a community of women who choose practical elegance every single day. Turn on the bell notification and leave your like. Wrap dress. Diane von Furstenberg created the wrap dress in the 1970s, thinking she was simply making a practical piece for busy women, but she ended up inventing the most powerful anti-aging secret weapon in the female wardrobe. The crossover cut acts like a surgical optical illusion. It elongates the torso, slims the waist, and enhances the bust without looking like you are trying to draw attention to the wrong places, so you appear elegant without apparent effort. But here's the problem no one tells you. 80% of women wear the wrap dress completely wrong. If the knot is too tight, the waist appears wider on video. With a 2-finger gap, the line narrows. The secret is in a loose tie that allows the fabric to move with your body, not against it. The ideal knot point is at your natural waist, that line located 2 fingers above your belly button, never high on the chest, which shortens the bust. When tying, leave space for 2 fingers between the fabric and your skin. This defines the silhouette without tightening. The neckline should cross about 1 finger below the collarbone, creating an elegant elongation without revealing too much. Viscose and light crepe become your best friends because they embrace curves without revealing imperfections, while rigid fabrics like taffeta turn the same dress into a fragile-looking piece that lacks structure. Colors like navy blue, olive green, or deep wine have that mysterious ability to make your skin glow, while pastel tones can make you look like you urgently need vitamin D. 3/4 sleeves work like a magic wand for arms that have lost firmness. They end exactly at the thinnest point of the forearm, creating an elegant line without making you look like you are hiding. But pay attention to the bra. Always wear a seamless model in a nude tone, because the wrap neckline has that inconvenient habit of revealing any unwanted detail that can ruin the entire sophisticated effect. Avoid rigid fabric and high knot. It creates a fake belly. A long necklace breaks up the verticality of the neckline without competing with it, so you add sophistication without looking like you tried too hard. 2-finger gap? Comment below. 1 okay. The next model will make you rethink everything about hemlines after 60. A-line midi dress. Catherine Deneuve wore A-line dresses in the 1980s when she was already over 40 and at the peak of her film career, yet she still seemed to float across red carpets like a porcelain doll come to life. The secret was in the perfect mathematics of the A-line silhouette. It balances any figure like a well-calibrated seesaw, so whether you have Shakira hips or a postmenopausal waist, the result will always be harmonious. But here's the mistake 70% of women make. They choose the length thinking only about covering parts of the body, when they should be thinking about elongating the silhouette. The correctly placed midi ends at the thinnest point of the calf, not too high that it cuts the leg, not too low that it shortens it, but exactly where it creates the illusion of infinite legs. If you are unsure about the length, use the calf kiss rule. The hem touches the thinnest point and goes up 1 centimeter. If knees or varicose veins bother you, choose matte tights in skin tone or navy blue. They create a more continuous leg. The fabric decides whether you will look like a discreet queen or carry extra volume. Viscose with light movement flows with your steps, while heavy fabrics make you look weighed down. Exaggerated sleeve volume at the shoulder can be overwhelming. Choose light movement that balances the silhouette. Small prints act as points of light that rejuvenate the face, while large florals create visual noise and weigh down the look. The trick to elongate your leg even more is to choose nude shoes that match your skin undertone or deep navy. This creates a continuous line from thigh to foot. To test if it is working, take a photo from 3 meters away. The leg should look like a single line with no breaks. Hem at the thinnest point? 2 okay. Always wear a base layer underneath, because fluid fabrics have the inconvenient habit of revealing more than you planned when you least expect it. The thin belt in the same color is genius because it defines the waist without screaming, "Look at me, I have a waist." So you gain definition with the subtlety of someone born elegant. The third dress will change your opinion about necklines once and for all. Structured straight dress. Carolina Herrera discovered in her 40s that structured straight dresses were her secret weapon to look powerful without apparent effort. But it took her years to understand that the real trick was in the fabric, not the cut. The straight dress is like a scalpel of elegance. It cuts away everything unnecessary and leaves only what matters, giving you a clean silhouette that elongates the body like a line drawn by a perfectionist architect. But here's the paradox that confuses 85% of women. They avoid the straight dress thinking it will reveal everything it should not, when in fact it is the master of intelligent discretion. The straight cut does not cling, does not stick, and does not expose. It simply exists on your body as if it were born there, but only if you choose fabrics with personality. Fabrics that work: structured crepe, fine tweed, ponte knit. If it clings, add a light lining. Elbow-length sleeves create that visual sense of, "I know exactly who I am." But remember, television posture test, feet parallel, shoulders 2 centimeters back, neutral chin. The dress gains architecture. If horizontal creases form at the abdomen when sitting, increase fabric weight or add lining. Emerald green or burnt red have that supernatural power to make your skin glow as if you just returned from a Swiss spa vacation, giving you radiance without needing highlighter. Long necklaces or flowing scarves create magnetic lines that draw the eye downward, elongating your torso like a professional illusionist's trick. Nude-toned shoes are your silent accomplices. They create continuity with your legs, making you appear taller, while contrasting colors cut the leg line at the ankle. Did you pass the sit-down test? 3 okay. A long vest breaks verticality by adding layers of sophistication that whisper, "I understand fashion," instead of shouting. The fourth model will make you rethink everything about prints after 60. Soft printed dresses. Julia Roberts discovered in the early 2000s that printed dresses could be her fountain of youth, but it took her time to understand that the secret was not in the print itself. It was in the size of the print. The soft printed dress is like a real-life Instagram filter. It adds freshness and youthfulness without requiring you to erase a single expression line, so you gain years back simply by choosing the right pattern. But here is the trap that captures 90% of women. They believe that large prints reflect strong personality, when in reality they reflect visual overload. Try this test. Step back from the mirror to arm's length and observe the print. If it looks like it is flashing or creating confusion, then the contrast is too strong. In that case, look for a piece with a softer background or smaller designs. This will soften the entire look. The secret to making your face more radiant is to work with tones that harmonize. The background of the dress, the print details, and the accessories should be from the same color family. For example, a dress with a beige background, tea-toned print, and a light caramel necklace. This harmony focuses all the light on your face. Floral prints the size of dinner plates can turn you into a walking pattern that overwhelms, but delicate florals on neutral backgrounds act as points of light that rejuvenate the face. White or beige backgrounds reflect natural light that softens expression lines like analog Photoshop. 3-meter photo test. The right look blends in, the wrong one pops out. The accessory trick is to always choose the color that appears least in the print. This adds instant sophistication and avoids a costume-like effect. Avoid bold necklaces with contrasting prints. They take the focus away from the face. If the print vibrates too much, adjust contrast. A lightly defined waist is brilliant because it creates shape without making it look like you are wearing a medieval corset. It is the perfect balance between "I have shape" and "I can still breathe." Light fabrics dance in the wind, creating natural movement, while heavy fabrics make you look like you're wearing a printed tent. Pair with leather sandals, and you get that just returned from Tuscany vibe, even if you only came back from the grocery store. A cardigan on top breaks the excessive sweetness and adds layers of urban sophistication. The fifth dress will surprise you. It is the only one that works better the more mature you become. Flowy long dress. Lauren Hutton made the long dress her second skin after 60, discovering that maximum lengths work like a reverse magic trick. The more you cover, the more mysterious and intriguing you become. The flowy long dress is paradoxical. It covers almost everything, but reveals your essence more powerfully than any mini dress, so you gain presence without needing to show a single unnecessary centimeter of skin. But here is the fatal mistake that turns elegance into heavy volume. Choosing stiff fabrics thinking they will disguise better. Fluid fabrics like viscose or crepe move with your body, creating that hypnotic "she floats when she walks" effect, while stiff fabrics make you look like a rigid structure that does not follow your movement. Highlight rule. Either a slit or a V-neck, both at the same time break the elegance of the long dress. A subtle slit is brilliant because it whispers sensuality instead of shouting. It should end no more than 5 centimeters above the knee, creating that mysterious air of, there is more here, but you need to earn it. If it opens more when you walk, reduce it by 1 centimeter. Higher becomes vulgar, lower limits natural movement. V-necks or bateau necklines balance the seriousness of the long length with a calculated touch of femininity. With the final shoe, the hem should touch the floor and rise between 0.5 and 0.7 centimeters. For women with smaller busts, a thin belt just below the bust creates the illusion of a high waist, but it must be the same color as the dress to maintain that hypnotic fluidity. With nude slingbacks or navy sandals, the length appears even longer. If it looks like a tent, change to viscose or fluid crepe and remove 1 centimeter from each side. Did the hem kiss the floor? 5 okay. Petroleum blue or moss green have that supernatural ability to make any woman look like a Mediterranean goddess, even if she was born in the countryside. A kimono on top breaks the solemnity and adds layers of urban modernity, so you look sophisticated without seeming like you are heading to a religious ceremony. Pocket checklist. Wrap, knot at waist plus 2-finger gap. A-line, hem at the thinnest point plus nude or navy shoes. Straight, structured fabric or light lining. Print, small size plus low contrast. Long, either slit or V-neck plus hem lifted by 0.5 to 0.7 centimeters. Coming up next, how to turn any of these 5 dresses into head-turning outfits. How to build complete looks. Martha Stewart spent decades creating perfect environments for others before realizing that she herself was the most important project she had been neglecting. But when she finally turned her attention inward in her 60s, she became living proof that elegance has no expiration date. Having the right dress is only half of the equation. The other half is knowing how to turn it into an extension of your personality, so you must master the art of building looks that work in real life, not only in your imagination. But here is the rarely spoken truth that no one mentions. 80% of mature women treat their homes as a style-neutral zone, as if beauty were a privilege reserved only for special occasions. Dressing well at home is not superficial vanity. It is daily self-esteem in action, because you deserve to feel radiant, even if your only audience is your cats. 3 golden rules. 3 points. Dress plus accessory near the face plus neutral shoes. A neutral third layer that works with 2 different dresses. Bag aligned with the waistline. Elongates the silhouette. Wild card. A cardigan at trench length, just above the knee, in navy or caramel, works with 3 out of the 5 dresses. The A-line midi dress with a beautiful flat sandal and soft lipstick gives that feeling of, I am ready to receive the Queen of England, even if you are just watering the plants. For casual outings, the wrap dress with a light jacket works like a uniform of effortless elegance. You look sophisticated to go to the market, but not like you tried too hard to buy tomatoes. Special events call for the long dress with statement earrings, 5-minute makeup, light foundation, mascara, lipstick, and blush. More than that might look like trying too hard, creating instant presence that whispers, respect my life experience. Travel calls for pieces that do not wrinkle and shoes that pass the 15-minute walking test. Limping elegance does not convince anyone, so chic comfort is a must. Comment 1 to 5 plus the occasion, example 3 dinner. Now, a strategic pause. Many women were taught to hide in their clothes after 60, as if elegance had an expiration date. But the truth is, this is exactly the age when you can wear whatever you want. It is not about looking 20 years younger. It is about looking like you, at your best, every single day. Remember the mistake that adds 10 years? It is harsh contrast at the knee level, a hem cutting through the middle, plus an isolated dark shoe. I now show 2 photos on screen. Before, cutting hem plus dark shoe, and after, adjusted hem plus nude or navy. Did you see the difference? You have survived decades prioritizing everyone else but yourself, so now it is your turn to take up space with confidence. Each of these 5 dresses, wrap, A-line midi, structured straight, soft printed, and flowy long, functions as a suit of self-esteem disguised as elegance. If this message is stirring something within you, leave your like now and subscribe to the channel because you are part of a community of women who choose practical elegance every day. Your journey toward authentic elegance is just beginning.